Barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a much cooler day, a high into the upper 50s to low 60s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight, overnight low mid to upper 30s. Thursday, partial sunshine, a high near 60. Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, upper 50s to near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they were one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hey, good morning. It's halftime and welcome in on this beautiful Wednesday. Yep, sun shining outside the home studio. It's a great day to be with you and a great day to be with Matt Jones alongside Christian Johnston. Halftime today's got Grant Hall coming up in 15 minutes. Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner Clay Henry at 12 noon. And wide open for you as we go throughout the show today. 2 days before a baseball season and a day after Arkansas took LSU to the woodshed, Matt Jones. I stayed throughout the entire thing. Probably could have turned the thing off at halftime.
Same.
Yeah, could have stayed. Could have turned it off at halftime and you would have known exactly what happened. Dominant performance. It almost felt like that's what I thought Arkansas would have done to LSU at Bud Walton Arena when they were at full strength. LSU was at full strength for that game too. But it took 3 weeks to blow LSU out. And, hey, back-to-back blowout wins on the road, Matt Jones. Nothing that you can shake a stick at.
Hey, man, happy to be here with you today. Yeah, we get Fisherman Clay today and Grant Hall. How fun is that? It's the Darius Acuff show, no question about it. The one thing is they're getting better. That's the thing that 2-3 months ago when we're talking, it's definitely like a month ago when the conference started. We're talking about this team. It's like, man, you like these pieces. You like the pieces, and it seems like they're getting better. And there's something to be said about tightening the rotation, or somebody gets hurt, and now we all know. Okay, so think about this, Phil. You go to the basketball gym, you go to the gym, and you know you're playing 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Or you don't know. Like there's some guys that when Carter Knox and Wagner are both healthy, they know they are, but everybody else. Now the rotation's so you're hyper focused, you're ready to go. They're playing with each other, they're playing for each other, and that's the thing I've noticed the most is that anytime one of their teammates makes a play, they're hugging each other, they're enthusiasm. It's infectious.
They look like they're having fun. Are you going to decide?
Zero people on that LSU team could get in this rotation.
I think zero people on the LSU team right now are having fun.
Yeah, Isaiah Seeley would start again for LSU. Like we said after the Mississippi State game, a kid that hasn't even been playing for the Hogs all year. He's a good. I love him. I like his game. he would start for Mississippi State and LSU. So let's pump the brakes a little bit though on thinking that we're, world beaters or all of a sudden we're a Final Four team. There's still a lot to work on, but we took care of business.
Right. Do it the next couple of games against teams that are going to be in the tournament, Auburn, Alabama. And, then you can celebrate a little more. I will say, though, I mean, for as much times as we talk about, hey, just get one win, win by 1 point on the road. Doesn't matter who it is you're playing. Just get a win on the road. These last 2 games, pardon me, been a lot more than 1 point. Been no sweating whatsoever. And to be able to do that down two of your guys, I think it says a lot about this team. Not just a matter of, they went out and won. They went out and dominated teams that they are a lot better than. And I think they obviously believed not just that they're better than Mississippi State and LSU on on a multiplicative scale, but they actually went out and showed it. Like, full well, you put those rosters up against Arkansas, that the Hogs should be blowing them out. Doesn't always happen, but it did happen these last 2 games. I think that at least gives me a little bit of comfort, going into what's going to be a much tougher stretch of games coming up.
I wonder about your boy, number 1, Michael Nwuko. And now I know he only had 1 basket. It was a dunk. I get that. But the other things that he did running up and down the court, trying to have to, go again, he's banging with you. I equate it to a running back like Braylon Russell. In the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, the fourth, you don't want to tackle him anymore. Nwoko, our guys were beat up, man. We didn't want to go bang with that dude anymore. I don't know how many years he has left, but that dude needs to be in an Arkansas because you probably get him at a good rate. Like as far as how much money would Nwoko cost, I need that dude in an Arkansas Razorback uniform next year just for that right there. I mean, what would you rather have, Pringle or Nwoko? Every single one of us would say Nwoko. Like if you watch basketball and know what's like, you'd be like, oh, that's the guy. Get Nwoko for next year.
6'11", 265.
Get that dude and a Razorback uniform. You don't run a single play for him and just say, go be an animal. That's what he's like a bull with a nose ring that's just sweat, snot's coming out. He's just like, get that dude in a dang Razorback. He could probably play tight end if he wanted to, but get him in a Razorback uniform.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where his future would be in basketball. It's like, remember Derek Queen?
He can't play basketball.
Well, you remember Derek Queen, the NC State power forward.
Love that dude too, yeah.
Guy's playing basketball overseas, all right? So he had a future in basketball at least, and I don't think he wanted to take those hits and play tight end or whatever in football because that was a main conversation going into that Final Four. I think he could run circles around Michael Nwoko.
You ran the offense. That dude had ball skills. This guy doesn't have any basketball skills other than he's an enforcer. He's a Bill Laimbeer. I mean, I shouldn't say that because Bill Laimbeer had basketball skills. But he's somebody you run up and down the court and he's banging on. You don't want to bang. Basketball players by nature are soft, bro. Like you just football players, basketball. Like when you start talking, that's why when somebody's halfway like physical, you're like, oh my goodness, he's so physical. Basketball players are so soft. It's funny how soft they are. And then all of a sudden you bring him out there and it's like, oh, they don't want contact. They don't want to bang. Like you bang one time, but they don't want to bang the whole game. I'm a fan of that Nwoko guy. That's what I'm saying. Get him in a Razorback uniform.
Well, I was impressed with Trevin. Brazil looks like he believes right now. Brazil looks like, man, I would like to bottle up what we've seen from Trevin Brazil in the last couple of weeks and save that for March. But if you're talking about this has been one point of topic for us in the last week to 2 weeks, Matt. You know who Batman is, and yesterday it was Acuff again. I mean, every single game, and that's fine. Who is Robin? You got 2 of them right now, man, and it's Malik Thomas and Trevin Brazil. And Brazil is playing with that physical presence. Now, admittedly, physical presence against 2 bad
Bottom
teams.
feeders.
David and the text line refers to them as high school teams. What's it going to mean when you go up against Auburn, Alabama, when you go up against A&M, and when you get into the NCAA tournament and facing teams that are used to winning games instead of playing in front of 3,000 people in a completely empty arena like the last 2 games? I like the version we're seeing of Trevin Brazil right now. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks. and playing with an attitude. Also an attitude, Matt, that I believed, right? I'm not, like, I don't believe Trevin's a tough guy or anything, but I believed watching these past 2 games and certainly last night that he can be what this team needs him to be. Just I would like to see it Saturday against the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a Brazil fan. From 3 years ago. He's got first round pick written all over him if he'll mature, come to fruition. If he'll marinate, all the things, all the words you could use there. He's super talented, but you just don't get guys that are built like him. Is the whole thing. You don't get 6'11" guys with a 7'3" wingspan that have 40-inch verticals. Like that's just like you're like what? Okay, so that's what we're starting with, and you're building him into a basketball player. Love Brazil. He is getting better, and just keep growing. That's what you can say. That's the type of stat line that you think Brazil can have anytime. What's it? Willie Mays Hayes, he's like, I got 100 of these for all the bases I'm going to steal. Yeah. That's how you feel with Brazil. Like he can wake up out of bed and he's been blessed more than other players have been.
Did you ever read about what the crew from Major League had to do for Wesley Snipes? Who played Willie Mays Hayes?
Yeah, they had to acquiesce to his request. Yeah.
Well, the fact that he's not an athlete.
He doesn't run like Tom Cruise.
Nobody. Well, I don't think anybody could really run the way that they made Willie Mays Hayes look like he ran. But if you wanted to know why, every one of the scenes that they show him running, and it is the truth, any base he steals, that famous scene when he jumps over the fence at spring training and out races 2 guys
in his
pajamas. They did that in slow motion to make him look a lot faster than he really is. I mean, Willie, I'm sure Wesley Snipes a better athlete than I am, or was. But I always thought, wow, that guy must be super fast. No, the guys he was racing, those 2 slow white guys were, I think, probably faster than he was.
You could put Mississippi State's top 7, LSU's top 7 on one team together, and they still wouldn't make the tournament. So we understand that LSU's not very good, Mississippi State's not very good. But you know what I like, Phil, is we went out there and we took care of business. We did what we were supposed to do. That makes me feel better about, even if we would have eked out a road win by 4 or like whatever, I'd still feel good about, because road wins are tough to get by. But the way we played like we're getting ready for March. Mm-hmm. Like we played like, hey, it's getting time. We're gonna, let's go. And I think they're coming together, man. I saw a group of guys that were playing for each other last night. They were having fun. They were picking their brother up when they fell down. They're sharing the ball. I don't think this team overpasses. And Malik Thomas, he'll never pass. If you said, hey, your superpower could be don't pass the ball, he'd never pass it. Like he doesn't. He wants to do everything else but pass the ball, and that'd come to him. But it's like saying, Khalif Battle didn't want to pass the ball. There's certain guys that their brains wired to score. Just don't shoot me out of it. Don't shoot us out of the game. But they're coming together. They're coming together fine.
It felt to me, and I agree, it's like, so you're getting ready for March, because that's at the top of everybody's mind. But look at who you're about to play. Like in these last 7 games, you're playing nothing but tournament teams the whole way through, Matt. Auburn, Alabama, Mizzou twice, A&M, Florida, and Texas.
Florida might win the SEC. It's either Arkansas or Florida. That might be the game that can decide. If we win out, we're going to have to. We have to beat Florida, but we would hold a tiebreaker with Florida.
Yeah, it's like I know, because the tournament starts in like about a month. You got to worry about what's in front of you next, and that's what I felt they did. Like they weren't looking ahead to Auburn. They weren't looking ahead to Alabama. They weren't worried whether or not they're going to play Charles Bediako or not. They weren't worried about March. They were worried about Mississippi State and LSU. And I think at this point of the season, when you're facing teams that are so down in the dumps, it could be pretty easy to overlook them. I'm with you. I'm glad they obviously did not overlook them. And I think you'll go into Saturday's game against Auburn feeling really, really good. Should be a good game too. So that's where we start halftime today on this Wednesday. And again, our guests, we just got a couple of them. One of them's a guest host. That's Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner, Fisherman Clay Henry at 12 noon. And Grant Hall coming up in the next segment. Well, 877-377-6963 to get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline anytime you want. And stay with us. We got Grant Hall on a Hall of Fame Wednesday next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You know that stretch where football's winding down, fight nights keep rolling, and you still want action every night? That's February, and that's where MyBookie really shines. I'll bet the games, sure, but once they're over, I slide right over to the casino and keep it moving. Slots, live dealers, blackjack, roulette, same account, all in one. There's always something going on, too. Cash drops, slot tournaments, live dealer jackpots. You log in and there's action waiting. That's why I keep telling people MyBookie isn't just for game day. It's built for late nights and that post-Super Bowl hangover. Head on over to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Fame Wednesday. We've got Hall of Famer Grant Hall with us. And, hey, it would be a good thing to talk about Hall of Fame when we get into this a little bit here, Grant. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, good. We got a Hall of Fame induction tomorrow for the one and only Norm DeBrine. Will be the second Razorback ever inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame, but also a giant donation to the Baseball Hall of Fame, which finally will get a physical location because of $1.5 million donation from the Walker Foundation, and that goes in Norm's name. So, man, that's great news on so many different levels, Grant. The College Baseball Hall of Fame needed its own location, and quite honestly, I think Norm should have been inducted years ago.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing he hasn't been. He's 84 years old, and good things come to those who wait, I guess. But, he tells the story about the best thing he ever did was not cut Johnny Mike Walker from the baseball team. I think he was a walk-on, and he was with the program, and, of course, he's done so much for him financially. And I saw him at the thing that, they had that scrimmage on Sunday, and by the way, I thought it was interesting. We talked to some of the players afterwards, and Reese Robinette said that last year's team was not as close at this time of the season as this year's team is. They had all that thing where they went fishing together and eventually got really close. But I thought that was interesting. And then we talked to Colin Fisher, who is going to be one of that. It looks to me like, Phil, that it would probably be Gackle, Dietz, Fisher, and then maybe Peyton Lee in these first four games. At least that's the way Matt Hobbs was thinking as he spoke to us, because Dave wasn't there. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I mean, Dave goes into the McLennan College in Waco Hall of Honor, or whatever that thing's called, and so he wasn't there Sunday.
I think Dave this morning on his at a Wednesday press Zoom just to preview the series this weekend, he did confirm it's Gackle against Oklahoma State, Dietz against TCU, and Fisher against Texas Tech. I don't think he said anything about Peyton Lee necessarily, but he's also hinted that expecting to see a freshman on Monday. So there's your rotation for the time being, Grant, and there aren't any surprises about it either. Hey, you try not to make too much of the first weekend, though, right? Like if you end up going 1-2, it's not going to be the end of the world. But this does tell you probably more about your team now until you finally play an SEC team.
Yeah, I think they got kind of a pleasant problem right now. Is some guys, for example, Suzu led off for both teams really all weekend. Is hitting the ball well. Where's he going to play? Is he going to DH? If he DHs, then you're playing Kuhio Aloy in right field, and he looked shaky. Let's face it. Dave says this thing about there are a lot of below-average outfielders who play every day in the major leagues, but at the same time, we know that Dave prefers really good defense at every position. So that's going to be interesting to see how that kind of shakes out. But it's better than not having enough. I mean, they had three catchers hit a home run in one game over the weekend, and one of them I think went 3 for 3 on Sunday. And of course, you got Helfrich, who's probably the best catcher in the country there. So those are okay problems to have.
Grant, what'd you think of the basketball game last night? Hawks took care of business. How you feeling? How you feeling about this basketball team?
Well, I think if there were a finesse NCAA tournament, Arkansas would win laughing. I think if you get in a game where you can run up and down and throw alley-oop passes and dunk it and have a big time, excuse me, sometimes there's addition by subtraction, and that you're going to need Knox and
100%.
And Wagner. But when you've got the situation where, Matt, you probably have to worry about this, but in grade school, if there were 5 or 6 guys there, we loved it because that meant we were going to play most of the game, and guys are getting some minutes now that weren't getting as many, like Pringle, and knowing that they're going to play a lot, I think takes probably some pressure off of them. The thing I still wonder about is, like, there was a possession last night when I think LSU got 5 offensive rebounds, and they never did score, and then they stole the ball and scored. But you don't want to be getting out-rebounded 43-36 by a back marker team in the SEC, even though everything else was really good last night.
21 offensive rebounds. Really scored 13 points on second chances. So, yeah, I agree with you. You don't want to be allowing 21 offensive rebounds, that's for sure. And that usually doesn't go along with blocking 10 shots and allowing 21 offensive rebounds in the same game. But there you go.
Well, you guys hit it. I mean, it was just it was clear you could see the ability difference, and they had a good time winning these late. Never won back-to-back SEC games, about 20 or more on the road. So there's that. And now you get ready for a really good Auburn team on Saturday, and maybe Arkansas will get 1 or 2 of these guys back. We'll see.
Are you allowing yourself into the conversation about where Darius Acuff sits in Razorback history yet? He hasn't completed his first season yet, and look, I understand the comparisons to some of the greatest players in Razorback history. Have you allowed yourself to kind of, dream up on that topic a little bit? Because we're only getting him this 1 year.
Well, I think I told you guys 2 weeks ago he should be the SEC Player of the Year by acclamation, and now finally the SEC Network is starting to echo that. A lot of their guys said that last night. It's 16 teams. You're not going to see everybody all the time, but to me, that's what he clearly is right now. And I know there's some other really good players in this league too, and the 7 of them averaging 20 or more in conference play. But he's doing things that are historic. I mean, 24 straight games in double figures. They can't find a guy that's led in scoring and assists if he's able to do that. So, as far as Razorback history, a longtime UA observer said to me the other day, he said, let's not put him up there with Sidney and Corliss yet because he hasn't won anything. Well, he hasn't had a chance to win anything postseason. So that's probably what people will judge this on, is what kind of run they make in postseason with him. But he's next level. It's fun to watch him every time and enjoy it because it's going to be 1 year.
He's still writing his story, no question about it. Do you think the Hawks? So that we get to play Florida, Kentucky holds the tiebreaker with us. I think Kentucky will take another loss before the season's over. Give me a percentage chance, Grant, because if we beat Florida and don't lose another game, we win the SEC championship. Well, we got to get help. Kentucky has to lose 2. I'm sorry, they got to lose one game because they have the tiebreaker. Give me a percentage you think Arkansas can actually win the SEC regular season title.
I'll go 43%. I think Florida's in a really strong position, but you're right. I mean, you've got that within your hand. Been saying all year, I think maybe 4 or 5 losses might be good enough in this league. It's kind of settling in now. You kind of see 9 teams with 6 or 7 or fewer losses, and then you got. I think Texas is getting better. I think there may be 10 or, people say 10 or 11 NCAA teams. I think maybe 10. What do you guys think?
I'm with 10. I got Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, A&M, Vandy, Tennessee, Alabama that are for sure in. Unless Alabama something happens. And then Missouri, Texas, Georgia, Auburn for the last 2 spots. That would be 10.
It's funny, around the country, I don't know how many basketball fans even worry about who wins conference championships anymore. I still think there's great value in them. I know Dave Van Horn really appreciates it when he can win a conference championship regular season. Mostly people look at, what are you going to do in the NCAA tournament? So it can still be a memorable season either way, or maybe both ways for Arkansas. But I think that they do need to keep getting better inside. And Brazil, as you said, Matt, he's playing a lot better. Had a great game last night, and can he do it like at Auburn on Saturday? That would be a big question.
You wonder sometimes, why do we even have regular seasons? Nobody remembers these things. They remember the 1999, run through the SEC tournament. It was just all the legacies of teams, Grant, and it's probably unfair about this. All the legacies have to do with what you did in the postseason. Never anything about the regular season either. You know that.
Yeah, and that has changed.
That's the baseball. That's the basketball. It's not for football. It's much different for football.
I think Eddie Sutton won 5 SWC championships back in the day in 9 years. I think Nolan won 4 SEC titles. Maybe maybe they had the SEC West. Remember, won that. But I do think that's changed in how people look at it. I mean, could you tell me how many times Duke has won the ACC or how many times North Carolina has? But you probably could tell me how many national titles they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. Because the last thing that a team does, if they have a good regular season, is play in the postseason. It's always going to stick in people's minds.
Before Oklahoma and Texas left the Big 12, I think Kansas had won 11 straight Big 12 regular season titles, but one national championship, and it's kind of like the Braves theory, right?
Right. Well, there's just certain teams that I think fans adhere to with that, and one team that fans adhere to with that is Arkansas baseball. I mean, it's like it's like you'll discount what used to be something major with a division championship. And I know we don't do divisions anymore, but it's like Arkansas could go win the SEC regular season like Texas did last year. For Texas to win the SEC in their first year in that baseball league is a pretty amazing achievement. But they got knocked out in their own home regional, so nobody cares.
Yeah, Allen Fieldhouse the other night, Kansas beat Arizona, and knocked them off for the first loss they'd had, and the place was just electric, But again, it's going to be, he'll rise and fall on what they do in the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, Pete in Tawnytown said he was listening in Kansas City last week. There's local radio talking about Darren Peterson as being the second best Kansas Jayhawk ever behind Wilt Chamberlain. I haven't watched a Kansas game that he's played in yet. Watched a couple of highlights.
Danny Manning was pretty good.
I get the idea of the kid's stats and all of that. It's just that's quite a statement to make.
Well, and he didn't play the other night. He's missed lots of games with injuries, and
they still beat Arizona without him.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
Pretty good though.
Yeah, I think he is. Grant, pitchers and catchers are reporting today for some teams too. Are you feeling the optimism of the Major League Baseball season, or are you like I think most Cardinals fans, just hoping they get sold?
Yeah, I wish I could feel optimism for the Cardinals. Yeah, I do. They're just kind of, it seems like they're small marketing, just piecing it together. And, about that, following Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I may watch a Pirates game or two this year. I don't know. I got nothing else to do. We'll leave it there, Grant. Always appreciate your time coming on these Wednesdays. Thanks a lot, and hope to see you at Baum sometime soon. I'm sure I will.
Oh yeah, good deal. See you guys.
All right, Grant Hall on a Hall of Fame Wednesday, joining us here on Halftime, and you can do the same thing. Just call us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline or text us 877-377-6963. A little sound from DVH from this morning coming in a minute here on Halftime.
No. Pringle, yes.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wiper? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Being a father doesn't come with a manual, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Invest Fatherhood is a program of Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and our Man Up classes bring dads together. This is a network of fathers building stronger families one step at a time, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you're ready to be the dad your kids need, man up, step in, and join the brotherhood. Invest Fatherhood, a Heart to Heart program. Strong fathers change everything. Call Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center at 479-452-2260 to sign up today.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits, but I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
What's new at the Golf Nut in 2026? Plenty. Mizuno JPX One Woods and Hybrids are now in stock. So are Cobra Optim Adapt Woods, Hybrids and Irons, ready for every swing style. Starting in February, check out our brand new Titleist ball display featuring every number Titleist Pro V1 ball from 0 to 99. Step inside our newly remodeled retail space, explore the simulation bays, and experience our new fitting and lesson bay. Plus, new inventory arriving weekly. The Golf Nut, everything you need to play better.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
No fun for my baby. No fun. No fun for my baby. No fun. No fun to hang around. Feeling that same old way. No fun to hang around. Freaked out for another day.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Yeah, it's not always about wins. Wins are good. Winning makes everything better. But at the same time, just kind of figuring out where we're at with this type of competition we're going to play. You know, we've had some really good days when I thought, man, we're pretty good. And then we've had some days when I've gone, man, we got a long way to go. So I just want to see us play hard, be consistent, and kind of show us what we really need to focus on going forward. I mean, I'd say that's what I need to do. And then, you know, I never finished Andrew's conversation. I will never watch a game looking through my fingers.
I love the answer there from Dave Van Horn. You watch a game through your fingers. I don't know if you can see the entire thing that you need to see, and a coach needs to see the entire field. But it's funny the way he puts it there. It's not all about wins and losses for the first weekend. You know, it's like you're dipping your toe in the water to start the baseball season. But it's tough to dip your toe in the water against teams that routinely are in the NCAA tournament, especially the team you're opening up against Friday. That that Oklahoma State team can always hit. But the thing that is that you don't play another major team until you open up SEC play. There's some good teams that are on the schedule that are coming up. I'm excited to see Arkansas play against Stetson. It's usually a pretty good program. And Xavier, a better program out of the Big East. But, it almost sounds like Dave is setting you up for disappointment, right? I don't think he is. But that's just the perspective of the first weekend when you're a baseball coach. And there just aren't a lot of – you can't be that way in football. It's almost like – remember the first weekend of the college basketball season was Michigan State. And you left that game thinking, you know what? That's a really difficult place to win and a really difficult team to beat, and they're physical and everything. And Hogs held their own in that game. So you still walked away from that one thinking, yeah, we're pretty good. It's okay.
I wonder how Michigan State's doing this year. I'm going to try to look up their schedule because that's a team that once you get to the Sweet 16, once you get to the second weekend – you're going to have to play a team like Michigan State. You're going to have to play a team like North Carolina. You're going to have to play a team like Arizona. You're going to have to play a team like UConn St. John's. I told you I watched that game last Friday. There's a lot of good basketball teams out there, and you're going to have to beat some really good basketball teams if you want to make a run. Virginia's 10-2, Clemson's 10-1, both in the ACC. Miami just beat North Carolina and didn't trail one single second in the game. There's some good basketball teams out there. Look at that. Look at that Big 12, Phil. There's 4 teams in the top 10 in the Big 12. Arizona, Houston, Kansas, and Iowa State. Great. There's a lot of good basketball teams out there. Okay, BYU might have the best freshman out of the whole lot. They're in the top 25. That's a team you might have to beat.
Yet the SEC team that's ranked the highest is Florida, and they're at number 14. Isn't that something? But yet the SEC's net ranking is in a really good place compared to some of the other leagues, even with the number one team being 14th in the AP poll. I haven't looked at the net rankings today, but I know Florida's been in the top 10, and that's really what's going to count more than anything else. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Denny asked about the rock, paper, scissors. I watching the game. That was one of the reasons I was glad I stayed awake for it. I don't think I've ever seen players decide who's shooting technical free throws based on a Rochambeau. It's like, you want to talk about guys that are having fun on a basketball court. It looked to me like Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas had the most fun playing rock, paper, scissors. And that was new for me, man. I see baseball players, play games during a baseball game, but they're the bullpen pitchers. They're the guys in the pen, seeing if they can flick their sunflower seeds a little closest to the left field line or whatever, or see whose attention they can get in the stands somehow. It's usually not guys actually on the baseball field. Or when was the last time you saw guys on a football field play rock, paper, scissors?
Hey, look, when you're up 20, you can have a tea party out there. I don't care. Yep. That's hey, let the kids have fun. Now, if we were down 4, if we were down 12, different. I think it's time and place. I think it's being aware. No problem with it at all.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. I was entertained.
Yeah,
I just thought it was hilarious.
It was kind of funny, and I think they messed up once, or they were trying to get it together. It's more for it's you see him do this Phil, on the soccer field when they're getting ready to take a penalty kick, and you got 2 guys kind of vying for it. You've seen him do that, or how are they going to go about it? And I always think to Seinfeld, he's like, "You got evens." He's like, "Good, I want odds."
When I first learned rock, paper, scissors, my father taught me. Maybe this is a New York thing. Has anybody out there added the match to rock, paper, scissors? The match lights the paper on fire, strikes the rock, and gets sliced by the scissors. But I've never heard anybody else play rock, paper, scissors match. It's always just been rock, paper, scissors. Same with Acuff and Thomas yesterday. Throw the match in there, man. You get extra combinations. It actually leads to a little bit more of a fun game. But nobody will play rock, paper, scissors match with me. Not even the kids. They say that's stupid. I think that's the way I learned it. Must be a Northeast thing.
Either way, whatever you're doing, make your free throws when you go up there to do that.
That's right. Yeah.
Just make your free. I don't care how you decide it, but make your free throw.
Do you have a strategy for rock, paper, scissors? I was like, I don't want to tell everybody this, I usually start with rock. I like to make a fist. Some people
Just
like to
let
make the
you know
peace
you're,
sign.
You're strong. I'm here. I got this. I like to say, "Hey, look over there," and it doesn't ever.
No, Denny, the match is the pointer finger. I guess it depends on who it is you're playing and what you think about them. Rock, paper, scissors, Lizard, Spock. No, that's
a Big Bang Theory.
Okay, thank you very much, Todd. I haven't watched enough Big Bang Theory, but Matt has. So he was in there with you. Justin does rock, paper, scissors, throat punch. I don't know. That might be illegal. Use the rock to the throat. Maybe they'd be the exact same thing. But if somebody throat punches, you just watch out. That rock can block the throat punch. And keep the hand away from the scissors, man. That's for sure. More text coming in here. Bub says we jumped from 24th to 19th in the net ranking. That's pretty good. You know, and that's with 2 road wins. The LSU game as of now is a quad 1 win. I'd be surprised if by the end of the season it is a quad 1 win, but it is now. But every other game you're playing, I think, is going to be quad 1, except maybe the Missouri home game for the time being. So you get a little bit on a roll here, and I'm not going to predict some long winning streak you're ever. You can get that net ranking. Bub thinks between 13 and 16. He's probably right about that. If you have a net between 13 and 16, and you get into the SEC tournament at that point, and the SEC tournament I don't think will have anything to do with where Arkansas is slotted. Unless you win it.
Yeah,
that's the one way.
It can get you over the hump, I think. I think this Arkansas team, the way they're going, if they take care of business, will be no worse than a 4 seed come Selection Sunday. I think they're that talented that means they're top 16. So I don't. If for some reason they lose 3 of these next 5-6 games, then yeah, maybe they're a 6 seed. But I really think this Razorback team would be no worse than a 4 seed come Selection Sunday.
I wonder if you get Knox and or Wagner back for Saturday. It felt to me like they had targeted. You know, once the 2 of them were put on the availability list as doubtful, it felt to me, you guys are going to sit for a couple of games. You're not going to play. Rest it. Make sure you hit the training room, and we're getting you ready for this home stretch, which you are about to start Saturday night against the Auburn Tigers. Ryan, adding match to the game isn't like fair, Pole, because when your father teaches you that, it's like that's what he was taught. That must be the way that they play in New York. They add some things into New York because there's so many more people. You know, all around the rest of the world, all around the rest of the country, you just have 3 things. You just your rock, your paper, your scissor. And in New York, you throw in the match and probably everything else to the northeast. Seth liked watching Billy, watching them play rock, paper, scissor because you looked shocked that they were even doing it when it went to the final round.
Well, he's like, where's my seat at the table? I can shoot free throws too.
Yeah,
I'd have no problem with Billy Richmond shooting free throws.
It'd be a little tough, though, to have like a round robin rock, paper, scissor before the free throws. It's like everybody's waiting on you guys.
You notice Coach Cal was back in the locker room checking on you, when that happened. So I think they're more aware than we think of. I think we should give them a little more credit. They knew Coach Cal was gone; they could get away with it. Yeah, which he probably didn't have. I mean, when you're up 20, when you're up 20, everybody's smiling, man. Smile. It's hard. It's hard to win. They're not easy. We saw LSU come into our place and how much of a struggle that is. So enjoy it, man. Smile when you're winning.
Smile, please. Let's just be happy. There you go. So everybody do your best John L. Smith, but I'm completely with you on that. It looked like they were having fun. And one thing I do wonder about is Ewan now. He's having stitches. He's going to have that Bill Laimbeer mask probably for a while. I wonder if he gets out there on Saturday. That was a pretty heavy blow right to the nose. Not just the blood. He needed help, stumbling off the court.
It was a mild concussion.
Might have been a concussion at the same time.
Dude, homie got hit too. My favorite player on LSU's team, number 1, he elbowed our boy Nick Pringle and caught him clean on the chin. You could tell, like, whoa. I mean, that's what I mean. Those LSU's physical. We could use Nwoko next year. We got to get him in a Razorback uniform.
Let's just get him now, Matt. I mean, we're in college basketball.
Call Nate Oates. He probably
execute a trade. Yeah. Test the NCAA, see if they're going to allow trades. They may lose a couple of credits on the way to Arkansas just from transferring mid-season, but so what? So what? Yeah, later on he can come back to school. He can get his degree, just like Charles Bediako could have gone back to school and get his degree without continuing to play basketball.
It's all about winning a title. That's right. We don't care about anything else. We're just trying to win a championship.
This thing is all about a coach's record specifically in that case. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And here on this Wednesday, I want to remind you about Rhoback.com. You can go over to Rhoback and you'll see custom designed hoodies, polos, and Q-zips. And you can also find custom designed hoodies, polos, and Q-zips just for Razorback fans. Stuff you won't find anywhere else at RHOBACK.com. Just look up the Arkansas Game Day Collection and you'll find it right there. Everything you're looking for. And you can also get 20% off your first order by using the code RUSH25 at checkout. That's Rhoback.com. Rhoback is where action meets comfort. We'll be back in a moment. Wrap up hour number 1. This is halftime.
We played really good today.
This is halftime.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and back-to-back comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming and fishing gear is arriving daily. Jelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires. Don't disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem, the Crawfish Festival that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Colorworks Paint & Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
If I could page the time, then I'd rearrange just to get close mine. But I couldn't lie away, so I'll never fall one day to believe in you. Tell me.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
And pitchers and catchers reporting today, Matt, but also a lot of injuries to report about. Remember Diamondbacks star outfielder Corbin Carroll. He broke a hamate bone in his right hand. He'll have surgery Wednesday. I know Francisco Lindor is having surgery for the same reason. And even Jackson Holliday, the top overall pick a couple years ago, he's got the same injury. What's with all these broken hamate bones? From what I remember, the hamate bone is like, it's right there. Is it kind of like on the outside, when you put your palm down, it's on the outside of your wrist, kind of not on the wrist, but a little bit on the hand side of it. And, you know, if it's your left hand and you're a right-handed batter, that's what leads, that's the first thing, you know, that leads to the ball, you know, until you flick your wrists and the bat comes out. So, I don't know, seems to be maybe a little bit of a rash of guys getting hit by a pitch. I don't know. But they haven't had any pitches yet. It's just there's a rash of broken hamate bones. And the other thing I understand about the hamate bone is it's like the appendix. You don't need it, but you still end up having surgery to remove it, and it saps your power for a while.
Well, I was thinking if you hit the ball wrong on the end of the bat, where's the energy has to go somewhere? You get a little stinger. Isn't that kind of where you get a little stinger on your hand when it's like it was. I don't know. I've never hurt that bone.
I remember the injury that Andrew Benintendi had before his freshman season, 2014 at Arkansas. I don't remember if it was the wrist or the hamate. The wrist injury is going to take longer to heal. The hamate bone, you have your surgery now. You know, they're thinking you might be ready for opening day. I think Holliday said he may miss it. The Mets are hoping Lindor makes it back, but you're never the same hitter. It takes a while to get the strength back in that hand, even though they took out a bone that you didn't need. So, it's the defining thing about pitchers and catchers reporting. And the other one was Justin Verlander re-signing with the Tigers for 1 year. Might be the last year he pitches. So, yeah, they got Framber Valdez. They got the best pitcher in the American League in Skubal, and now they got a Hall of Famer and a guy that's going to go in wearing a Tigers hat in a few years. Speaking of Hall of Famers, Clay Henry joins us for the remainder of the show. We'll have him right after this, so stay with us.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours. Or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
All white chicken meat breaded in tortilla chips. They're Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets. Pretty different than the nuggets you're used to. Haters will say, that's not the classic nugget. Haters are right. Haters will love them anyways. Oh, and they come with Hidden Valley Ranch, another classic. But we mix it up with Diablo. They can't hate that. I mean, they can, but they won't. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. A brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Texting
enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Arkansas Oklahoma Gas, we understand that cold weather months are about staying warm, keeping life running smoothly, and focusing on what truly matters. We also know that higher heating bills during this season can create stress, and we're here to help ease that burden. From a variety of payment options designed to fit your needs to assistance programs that provide extra support, our team is dedicated to helping you stay comfortable and worry-free all season long. Our customer care team is just a call away, or you can explore helpful resources online at aogc.com/winter. We're here for you this winter.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a much cooler day, a high into the upper 50s to low 60s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight, overnight low mid to upper 30s. Thursday, partial sunshine, a high near 60. Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, upper 50 to near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
But they even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Caller text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
12:01 here in Central Time in Arkansas, and we welcome you back in. This is Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones in studio. Kristen Johnston's looking across from him, and we've got Hall of Famer Clay Henry joining us in just a moment. 877-377-6963 for anything that you want to get with us. And let's bring on the Hall of Famer, our second Hall of Famer for the day. Clay, it's great to have you with us as always.
Well, good afternoon.
Yeah, got a couple of days until the baseball season starts. Dave had himself a lengthy press conference this morning. And Arkansas basketball looked sharp against LSU last night. And 2 seasons, well, 3, we could really say. 4 if you want to count gymnastics. You want to count 5. You want to count track. You got softball. You got baseball. But basketball is very much top of mind right now because we are in the home stretch, and the Hogs have played back-to-back games that kind of historic when you look back at the margin of wins and where the games were played.
Well, I don't remember too many times where Arkansas's won back-to-back road games by that kind of a margin in the SEC. I guess it's never happened. And this was my take from watching the game, and I don't know if you're ready to go there or not. But I sit there last night, and Gene Ann was watching with me, and we were watching together, and I don't guess we were ready for we were kind of, buckled in for a close game. They had plays over the course of 40 minutes that I said, wow, 10 or 12 times. Just wow. Look at that. That's incredible.
I did the same thing.
Passes.
I sat there watching the game with my daughter, and we did the exact same thing.
Wow.
Probably like 10 times. Wow. Did you see that?
Yeah. I mean, it's just in it. There's usually a couple of wow plays in every game. With this bunch, they're so athletic, so skilled offensively. But the block shot, I said wow on a couple of block shots. Like, I didn't see that coming. But some of the passes that were made, and I thought that Acuff took some chances, once they had the lead in hand. He tried some stuff that, okay, that he probably wouldn't have thrown that pass if the game had been a little tighter. There was one, the first one to Sealy, I think that was a little bit of a reach, and they all were wanting to get a lob for Sealy. You could tell that. But I don't think I've ever watched a game where I said wow that many times.
I just haven't seen a team perform so many alley-oops just on a game-by-game basis.
Just some of the passes that they weren't even alley-oops, but some of the passes was like that pass, that was a dime. How did he see that?
Billy Richmond even hit a backdoor pass to Acuff.
Yeah, that was one of the wows. Yeah, it's like, whoa, that's pretty slick. And there was a couple of rebounds where somebody came from nowhere, and I mean they got it, and boom, it was back in. Wow plays, and it had to be intimidating to LSU when you see, it's like these are NBA players. I mean, or at least NBA type plays, and they're just stringing them together. And if you were a fan of the LSU Tigers and you were in that arena and you saw that, you'd be saying wow too. Like, give those guys credit. They're really, really talented.
I have some real cognitive dissonance when I watch the game last night, and cognitive dissonance. I don't believe when it is I'm watching.
Okay. When I was going to ask for a definition, thank you.
When the last time I went to, I got to remember, I'm talking with an editor. I got to know the words I'm using. When I was in LSU for women's basketball, I don't remember what they announced the crowd, but there were like 9,000 people there, and they're going crazy for a great program too.
It looked like about half that. It looked like about 4,500 people.
There was nobody there yesterday. Absolutely nobody there. I mean, no wonder LSU played so much better at Bud Walton Arena. They had
atmosphere.
Yeah, they had 15,000 more people there watching the game.
Hey, it was just like that at the Hump too.
Yeah,
Saturday
got to be
11 a.m.
You walk into that building,
yeah.
and you and literally every sport on campus gets a better crowd than you get. Women's basketball, baseball, softball, obviously football, of course, but probably track too. It's just crazy to think. LSU is so good at so many sports. They can't quite figure out men's basketball, but it didn't affect Arkansas. It's like, there's no. You have more people watching the shoot around at Bud Walton Arena than watched in person the last two games total on the road. And then, of course, you couldn't even watch the first 4 minutes of the game. Thank you very much, ESPN.
Yeah, it was 10-2 when it switched over, and then you can go find it at SEC Network Plus. You could go find it and watch.
There'll be a lot of people that were saying they couldn't even find it on ESPN Plus or SEC Plus or whatever.
I guess maybe I stand corrected.
Well, you shouldn't be corrected in that case because ESPN puts on that yellow box on the bottom right. It says the game will be on ESPN Plus and the app, and you go over there and it's not there. It's just that you're not starting the game on time. The people who program the station know very well. I understand. The Arkansas basketball game last night took an hour 59 minutes. That's because there was basically one team playing. When you got a game like Auburn and Vanderbilt that comes down to the last 20 seconds.
And they're calling timeouts. Yeah.
Right, and they're fouling and everything. It's going to take a lot longer. I think ESPN does itself such a disservice. They do the SEC a disservice by the way they schedule these games. So you look at the Big Ten, and they got basketball games almost every single day for an 11-game stretch. And I'm going to guarantee you, I don't watch a lot of Big Ten basketball, but because they've got many more networks and more days that they have games, I'll bet you, if you're a Big Ten fan and you wanted to watch every minute of your team, you could. You want to be a Razorback fan, you want to watch every minute of your team, you got to go back and watch the replay because routinely ESPN isn't going to show you the first 2, 3, 4 minutes like last night. And I got my daughter on the couch telling me to settle down about it. And I'm saying, wait a minute.
Hey, there's no settling.
No, I'm not going to settle about this. These are the people that are running the sport. Do a little better at running the sport.
Hey, when her phone doesn't work and she's getting antsy, you tell her to settle down, okay?
It's funny. She said at dinner last night, all right, I'm going to put my phone down. And I said, all right, well, how long are you going to do that? And it was like 45 seconds later, she says, who wants to play trivia? And, of course, trivia's on the phone.
That's on the phone.
Uh-huh.
I think you have a little shoebox with the buckle on it. And you say, just drop it in here for a couple of hours. Your phone's in timeout. And, I mean, you talk about seeing panic in a 16. She's 16 now. Is she driving?
Oh, yeah.
So how's that gone?
It's gone well. I'm alive still. She drove us to dinner last night on the freeway.
Has she gone over curbs and stuff like that?
Not that I know. I haven't been in the car for every drive yet, but
yeah.
there
So
might have been
how do you do that? Do you fold your arm and sit back in the other seat? You look out the window to the side and don't look forward?
I text Matt and I tell him he's about to win our contest is what I do.
It doesn't count. That one doesn't count.
No, it didn't count when I was teaching her how to drive.
Okay.
Now she's a licensed driver, so
she can go
it's
off by
all
herself
fair and
now?
games now, my friend.
So what does Gabe think of her driving?
Oh, it's part of his freedom too. Yeah,
I know. But
it's funny.
he
You know
feels
what a
safe?
couple of teenagers do when they're looking for freedom? They make a Target run together.
A Target run.
They make a Target run together. They might go to Sonic and get something to drink or
Chick-fil-A.
get some
They're
ice
going to
cream.
Chick-fil-A.
Might do something like that. But the thing that they really want to do, because my son wants to go look at the Legos. He's got a big thing for Star Wars Legos now. Yeah, Target run equals freedom. And that's like the last place that I want to go.
Well, that's cool though. They're getting out of the
That's
house
pretty harmless.
because 30 years ago we'd all go to the mall, right? Like you could go to the mall, whatever your mall was, whatever that food court consisted of. That's where you went.
You know I live in Little Rock. I'm going to tell him you might want to stay away from Park Plaza Mall, just the two of you together. Charlie's here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tuna, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? Hey, they wowed me so much last night that they put me to sleep at halftime. They knocked the Tuna out. I said, this game is over. And not only that, I had to go back and watch the second half, which I did, and I felt like they played even better. So I just defensively right now is where I'm getting wowed the most. Where at times this year, there have been times that I haven't, and it's been frustrating. We all know this team can score. I've said that 100 times. But when they go 3 for 12 from 3, and then they still score 90-something points, and it feels like they just – when a team starts to do that, because you're going to have nights where the 3 isn't falling, or you don't need – they held them to what, Clay? I mean, I know they got over 30%, but every time – I mean, it just felt like their defensive intensity – from the start of the game until the end, I didn't get to see the second half until later. It was different. And you could sit here and say, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're right. I was going to agree with you. I thought you were going to pause. I apologize. What I saw was a team that's not taking as many risks. And they're switching a little bit. They're doing some things. Their rotation is better. They're doing some simpler stuff, defensive concepts, and they're doing it consistently. It's like and they're not trying to foul inside. They're going to go straight up and keep the other team off the free throw line, which they did for the most part.
Wasn't the case the first time around against
No, it
LSU.
wasn't. No, it wasn't. And you can tell the things that they have emphasized in practice, they're getting in the games. And Kyle spoke on this a little bit after the game last night. I don't know if you watched all of his post game, but he says if you're going to play 5 or 6, they cannot foul. They cannot get 2 fouls because they're going to destroy your rotation. You can't. I mean, you're going to have to sub, early in the game. So he says we're not reaching, not grabbing, we're not We're not taking as many risks because they know that if they stay out of foul trouble, they might get to play 40 minutes. And that's the dream. And I think that there were enough breaks in the second half that they were able to, effectively keep their legs. And I think there was a little stretch where I thought they were hitting the wall against Mississippi State, but wasn't because of the score, it wasn't really a factor. But that'll be the real thing to watch is in a game where not many fouls are called, not many free throws are shot. Will they have legs at the end of the game?
Yeah, they certainly.
Yeah,
and
that was too long. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, look, I agree with you 100%, Clay. And before I go, I think one of the things Cal talked about, obviously, is something about when you play 5 or 6 guys. I know we all want DJ and Carter out there, me included, right? But when you do have that, I wonder if that, changes, like you said, it changes the mindset. But guys, when those 2 guys get back, at the end of the day, he has a way also of sending these messages in his press conferences to players. He may not say their name, but you kind of know he may be talking about them. That's something about it. Doesn't
yeah, we do that? We do that about
we
you,
do it
Charlie.
too. I know that's okay.
We're
about
talking
me.
about you, right?
I know. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I love it. And the thing about it with TB, right? His impact on the game last night with the rebounds, the blocks, the steals. He only had 7 points at one point, and I said he's been the most important player in this game just because of his overall impact. I know what Acuff's going to do on offense, but I think about that with Carter a little bit and the message that he's trying to get across to him. I know Carter has been banged up. So I think this is more of not only that, but also a little bit of a mental thing with him, obviously, because he hasn't been able to do what he does so well. It's like Billy Richmond, guys. When Carter gets back, how do you take him out of the starting lineup?
You don't. I was going to go there later in the show, but you don't. The energy that they have produced to start the game and to start the second half with Richmond out there is incredibly different, and it is dynamic. And I know I probably use that word too much, but it is. I'm going to tell you, when I watch Billy Richmond play, I know that's not easy to do. That is incredibly difficult to play with that amount of bounce and energy. And he's got great hands. And the things, I guess he made probably 4 of those plays that I was talking about, Charlie, that I just said, wow. And did we lose him?
Well, he just hung up at that moment because I think he'd asked all the questions he wanted to ask. Yeah, so it'd be tough to take Richmond out of the starting lineup right now. Yeah, almost impossible. And the other thing, too, it's like, so when Knox comes back, I still am not sure what version of Carter Knox you're going to get. Like, is he still going to be, is this knee thing still going to be affecting him? And I have a sense about Knox that if there's any effect of an injury, like it really affects him, probably more so than it might others. At least that's the way it looked. And he did need the time off. I wouldn't be surprised if he would sit for Saturday too. I don't know the severity of this injury. But I do know that this is somebody that you're going to need to make a run.
Yeah, and the pace of this game with Auburn, Auburn, they like to run with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, and it's a up-tempo game back and forth with not a lot of fouls called, they'll have a hard time. They'll need some minutes from these guys, but you don't put him back in the starting lineup. So I think that the Tuna had that right.
Yeah. Kevin's here from Rogers on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Kevin, how you doing today?
Hey, guys. Hey, Matt, Phil.
Hey there.
Clay, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Great. Good to hear from you today,
Well, you ask how I'm doing. I've got a problem.
Uh-oh.
A spider.
Right, go ahead and tell me about it.
A spider just crawled into my briefcase, my laptop case. A big black spider.
You just take the laptop and you beat the thing to death with it.
Well,
that's right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it outside and dump everything out of it. I did not plan. This was not the day I was going to clean out my laptop case, but I think it's going to, that didn't look good, guys.
It's like when I was at the Grand Canyon and all of a sudden Some spider walked out of my clothing bag, the little suitcase I
Not
brought
good.
with me. I was like, yeah, I
Not
don't,
good. You don't
I
know
don't
how
really
many-
know if I want to open that thing for the rest of the trip.
You
I'll
don't
just
know how
wear
many
the same
babies
clothes
it
I'm
had
wearing.
in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby
All right,
spiders are bad.
That's right. Kevin, what else you got, man?
Sorry.
Hey, well, no, that's good. Yeah, I'm the same way with spiders. Every time I get a bump or something, I am always worried about it. I mean, I'm paranoid. Well, the basketball teams look the comments that I have to make. First of all, regarding Carter and DJ, we are going to need them because you're going to run into a situation, and they are good basketball players. So down the stretch, we are going to need them to be healthy because, you are going to run into foul trouble at some point on the road. I mean, he can tell them not to foul all they want, but that's going to become an issue, especially if you go to an Alabama, when you go to Florida and Missouri. The road games are really tough. The common denominator, and the Tuna was right, and Clay's been on, and so the common denominator in these last two games, it's been defense. We all know we can score if we get out. Defense and rebounding. I told someone the other day, they said, how did they only score 2 fast break points against Kentucky? I said, they didn't rebound. You only have there's 2 ways to get fast break points. Steals and defensive rebounding. And that's just the plain of it. But I've been really impressed. The biggest thing that I've seen from Trevon the last few games, and they obviously have, and you saw it last night multiple times, he is not taking the pump fake. He is staying down, and that's why he's getting those block shots. Because the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, well, after we actually got to see it, I mean, that's the first thing I mentioned. I said, did you see how he stayed down? He's starting to stay down, and if he continues to do that, that's going to be a big deal. But I've been very happy. The Auburn game scares me. Obviously, they're more than capable. They had a little slump. We seem to grab these teams when they got their backs against the wall, and we haven't played well at home the last 2 home games we've played. LSU played us really tight in Kentucky, obviously. So I'd like to see us come out very aggressively. And I just want to hang up and listen to what you guys have to say. Looking forward to baseball. The Xavier Series, I'll be there, Phil. But see you, I'll say hi. Take care.
Looking forward to it, Kevin. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, they played like these games mattered. Like they was independent of the opponent. And to me, that means a lot about who you got coming up here because your opponents are all NCAA tournament quality teams, every last one of them. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can't get overly excited though about wins over Mississippi State and LSU. I think that's a point that we've also tried to make at the same time too, Matt. Can't say the line from Mr. Wolf in Pulp Fiction, but you know exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah. If I get my car any other way back, Monster Joe will be disposing of 2 bodies.
That's exactly right. It's always good to hear from Kevin.
Here's the thing. It's not that it should be something to be excited about, but you can check a box. 2 more road wins, and they're important. They are incredibly important. I mean, that's how you get separation from the bottom of the standings. And yeah, they have beat up on some teams there at the bottom of the standings, but that's how you finish above 500. It's the critical aspect, and the thing that I want to see Saturday is some payback. The energy that Auburn came at them last month, they've got to replicate that. They've got to give Auburn a dose of that energy. And I think Auburn will probably be coming in here hungry. Their backs are against the wall. But this should be payback for a game that you lost last month.
Hey, if you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, you can always get a hold of the Fence Man at 479-782-3936. The Fence Man has been serving our listening audience for over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences. Residential, commercial, high security, and automatic gates, plus 18-month financing at the Fence Man. Get a free quote at thefencemanAR.com or give him a call at 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. We'll be back in a moment here on Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You know that stretch where football's winding down, fight nights keep rolling, and you still want action every night? That's February, and that's where MyBookie really shines. I'll bet the games, sure, but once they're over, I slide right over to the casino and keep it moving. Slots, live dealers, blackjack, roulette, same account, all in one. There's always something going on, too. Cash drops, slot tournaments, live dealer jackpots. You log in and there's action waiting. That's why I keep telling people MyBookie isn't just for game day. It's built for late nights and that post-Super Bowl hangover. Head on over to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Wow.
Go Unit. He totally redeemed himself.
Is that like watching Arkansas basketball last night?
That's Billy Richmond's walkout music, right? Acuff has some good passes. You know, like just to see this team grow. And Phil, I know you get to see good players all the time watching the baseball team the last decade, but seeing a good team, but then still watching them get better. I mean, and we have to keep this in mind. Seriously. You could put Mississippi State and LSU, both those guys combine that roster, and they still wouldn't make the NCAA tournament. So let's don't get too. But there wasn't 3 basketball players on.
Just took care of business.
That's
all they
it.
did.
And so I like it though because we could have made
care of business.
Exactly.
I thought it was odd the announcers yesterday saying, well, LSU's trying to chase making the NCAA tournament too. And look, I understand how many games are left, but let's be realistic about this.
Now I can't believe anything else you say, though, because they starting off. You're lying to me about that? Like, that's where you're going to choose to start lying to me?
Right, yeah. All they're doing is playing out the string of Matt McMahon's last season in Baton Rouge. I mean, you already know that.
Damian Fishback, I wanted to just turn the sound down. And there was a little stretch where LSU was struggling and says, well, you know, LSU's without 2 of their better players. It's like, well, what about Arkansas? Never mentioned that Arkansas was without 2 of their better players. Never mind that they're both McDonald's All-Americans.
You know, though, but there is something.
They don't know what they're doing.
There is something to this team that I think stands out, even from last year's team, or even some of the Elite Eight under Muss, and it's a wow thing. There's the flashiness, like you're a team that throws down 4 alley-oops a game or something like that. And I don't say flashiness in a negative way. I think because I think they have that kind of athleticism to be able to pull this off. And when they're connected the way that they looked yesterday, they just seem to know where somebody's going to be near the hoop at every moment. And Acuff just has that kind of vision, man.
His efficiency is unreal. The fact he's our playmaker, he's the quarterback. And so earlier we were talking about players getting in foul trouble and being in trouble. Acuff is like Peyton Manning. He's like Tom Brady. If he gets hurt, then we're not going to worry about it. Like if he gets in foul trouble, we're going to lose anyway. Like, so that's the outlier to that whole equation right there. Everybody else, if he gets in foul trouble, we'll have to bring someone. But Acuff's the guy. You can't lose it. Acuff has to be. He's so efficient. So you're talking about how we're playing but Acuff is what he's like that midfielder in soccer that never makes a bad pass. Every time he passes the ball, it's right on the money, both foot. And the thing is with Acuff is you're going to take something away, but he has something else in his bag. He just goes right to it, doesn't get sped up. And I do agree with you that I think he was having a little fun kind of in the, like he was probably trying some things that, if we're playing UConn in the Elite Eight, I don't think he's going to be doing that.
The practice that we got to see, I believe it was July. Do you remember when we got one practice that the media came and I watched it? There was a sequence where there was a bounce pass, and then a little bit later another bounce pass in the lane. And Cal blew his whistle, stopped practice, called them all together, and pointed to the top of the square and told both Acuff and Malik Thomas, we got guys that can jump up there and grab it and dunk it. Don't throw any more bounce passes. And you forget that's a learned skill, and it's not easy to be on the same page. The dunker and the guy with the ball, they have to be on the same page. When does that pass come? And you're right, Matt. His passes, all of them are perfect. I thought the one to Seeley that he couldn't catch was
a good pass.
Was as good a pass as you could make.
Then he threaded the needle, I think, two plays earlier, on the fact he got the ball, boom, and threaded it to Malik Thomas real quick.
Yeah, and then he came back about a minute later, and he threw another one to Seeley. It was kind of like –
it was a little closer to the rim. Yeah.
It was a little bit easier to handle. But I thought, that's a quarterback – that his guy dropped it, and he came back to the huddle, and he looked at him, and he go, I'm going right back to you.
I'm going to come right back to you. Yep.
And that's what you have to do.
The thing with Acuff that I can't get past is how good he is with the little movements you got to do.
Change of pace.
To keep, around the rim.
But all of it, yeah.
Never gets blocked. He's always able to keep the guy.
He almost jumps into the guy and away from the guy in the same motion. I know exactly. It's like that. It's like Manu Ginobili was the best at it, but it's like he'll jump into him to get a little space, and then he's strong enough to fade away where you can't block his shot. No, he's a joy to watch.
He shows it to you with one hand, takes it to the other.
I would like to see, if Acuff was a baseball player, that's the guy. You're going to ask for a replay on any close play at home plate because the guy's going to find a way around the tag. That's just what he does at the rim every single time. It's body control, but it's also a toughness, and it's got to be some kind of an awareness, just about how difficult it is. He knows how difficult it is to defend himself. I've just never seen anybody that is, and I know he's not tiny or anything, but it's still. Quite often, he goes into the trees, and they have no chance against him.
What I wonder if he's really 6'2". I think Steve Nash was 6'4". I'm trying to think of guards. Derrick Rose was 6'1", I believe. But Derrick Rose was a different player. He's more of a Steve Nash guy as far as Acuff. Chauncey Billups. So it can be. I wonder what his real height is, because you have to be able to guard players. But there's no question, he's going to be a lottery pick in the next draft.
His strength on the ball, his hands must be incredibly strong because it does not look like it takes much effort for him to throw a pass. It's in his hands and it's in somebody else's hands, and you think, how did he do that? It's almost like a little magic act. I show it to you, then boom, it's gone. It's the other guy's got it. And he had some turnovers last night because I thought he tried to do some things in the second half to get some guys some touches that maybe ill-advised, and I think he knew he could do it in that game. That the game was pretty much over. But I have not seen teams, and you talk about the ability that Mississippi State and LSU have. I get that, but still, for a team to go on the road back to back and put those two kind of games together in places that Arkansas historically has played very poorly. It's not as easy as it looked last night.
That's a good point, yeah.
It looked like it was just playing against air sometimes. And it's not that easy.
877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline if you want to give us a call or a text, and we'll put you right on the air as well. Also, if you're looking to start the year strong, something that you got to have, WT Equipment in Springdale. You get outstanding operator comfort with the New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders. These are built. These are fuel efficient. They support a wide variety of attachments, so you can tackle more jobs with one machine. Go see the New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders at WT Equipment in Springdale. WT Equipment equips your future and elevates your potential. We'll be back in a moment. This is halftime.
Is this how we decide who gets the free throw if you're the best duo freshman in the country?
This is halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Hogs are running them out.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem, the Crawfish Festival that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5151. That's 800-885-5151. Again, that's 800-885-5151.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, Johnny'sTransmissionFS.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
What? Say what? Milk. Pick my nipple, champagne and ripple. Shamans go cripple. Friends go triple. We drop lobotomy beats, evaporated beats on high-tech streets. We go solo. Dance floors and talk shows, hot dogs, no-dos, hot sex and back rows.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry. Matt, you see the dead spider photo we got from Clay here? He flattened the sucker. That's not a black widow.
No, it's not a black widow, but it was big and black and hairy looking. Wasn't a tarantula, but I mean, it's a good sized spider. I'm glad that it's eliminated. It does not need to live in my house.
Scary enough for me. Yeah, I'd run out of the house if I thought that thing was still there.
Any flies that you make, Clay, look like a dead spider?
Yeah. There's a fly that we use for brim fishing, and it's called a brim killer, and it's a spider. That's all it is.
That's cool.
And
yeah.
it's, you just.
I wonder if you get any idea, because you're an artist. So I wonder if you get any ideas and where your ideas come from. If something like that makes you think, hey, maybe we'll do a fly like that.
Well, why don't you just try a spider? Won't the fish bite after spiders too? I mean, they're full of protein. Why not?
Spiders, ants, beetles. Those are tried and true patterns.
Can I name the spider lure that you make?
Fly. They're not
fly.
lures.
The spider fly.
Well, we just named. I told you that a couple of weeks ago I was tying some sex dungeons.
Yeah, I want to name this one the sex clown. Is that okay?
No, I named it. I mean, I
name it George Clooney.
No, I didn't name it George Clooney. That's a good one. I like.
That's my
that.
lookalike, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. But I had a revelation just before I went to bed last night that this new fly I needed. It's not quite exactly like the others, so that this guy, that I learned from. So it's my own variant, which, you have, if it's a different fly, a little bit different, you can name it. So I decided in honor of Big Bunny that I would
think that's
call
Bad
this
Bunny.
Bad Bunny. I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you for the correction. I need an editor too.
I'm just editing, yeah.
As we go. But I named this fly about years ago. My nickname in our church in Tulsa, they were making fun of us because we're from Arkansas. And we got everybody in our family's got double names: Jean Ann, Sarah Jo. Jean Ann's mother's Wanda Jo. So they started calling me Clay Bob, and then some of the kids in the church, they were like, well, Bob should be Bobby, so I was Clay Bobby. So this fly is Bad Clay Bobby.
Bad Clay Bobby. You already have two names on this show, Clay, and it's Fisherman Clay.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, for every group, you have a different nickname.
I like the, what is it? Bad what again?
Bad Clay Bobby.
Bad Clay Bobby. That's pretty good.
I'd
buy a Bad Clay Bobby as long as it was tied by Bad Clay Bobby.
Yeah, it's tied by me. Yeah.
He's the only one that can be named this.
So
yeah.
I need to make sure to kind of correct something that I said earlier that, like I just say wow, in basketball games. I say wow at football games too, especially if number 9 has the ball, that being Matt Jones. I said wow many times when he took off.
I remember.
I'm feeling good about this new coach up there. I'm thinking he's gonna.
Are you ready to say wow?
No, but I'm feeling good about it. Is what I'm saying.
We'll work our way into it.
I think it's better than the last regime. How about that? How about I think whatever the last? I think it's better than the last.
I hate it that their first conference game is Georgia. I hate that. That's unfortunate.
That was Sam's first conference game too.
First conference game I played in, Between the Hedges.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I think that was right. You and
Zach Clark
split time.
They must have planned it out that way.
I ran into Zach 2 Saturdays
Love
ago.
some Zach Clark.
I went to the Taylor Powell quarterback wide receiver camp, and Zach brought some of his players from Searcy to that camp, and he couldn't stay till the end. I said, well, he said, I'll have somebody else pick him up. I was talking to Taylor, and I said, Zach, where are you going? He goes, I don't want to say. I said, come on, you didn't do anything bad. He goes, no, I told my wife I would do this, and it was cotillion. He had to go to cotillion with one of his daughters. Have you done cotillion, Phil?
No, I had a lot of friends that did cotillion growing up. I never went.
You know who Paula J made go to cotillion? This guy right here.
You had to do cotillion?
I had to go to J.C. Penney's and pick out an outfit to wear to the dance, and I hated every second.
Did you have a clip-on tie?
I hated. I had a vest. Yes, I don't know. I hated as 6th grade me going to cotillion.
I didn't do it,
and I kicked and screamed and did not. Did
you learn something?
A lot of things.
Manners.
A lot of things.
Manners.
Yeah, can't you tell? Yeah.
Which fork do you use? That's a salad fork.
The foxtrot.
Oh, you learned the
foxtrot?
foxtrot.
What's the soup spoon and what's the cereal spoon? I don't know. You can obviously tell. I did not go to Cotillion.
Is there any video of you doing the foxtrot?
Oh, my goodness.
Is there a video of you doing the foxtrot?
Clay, there might be video out me doing the Charleston at age 17 on stage.
Oh, gosh.
Might be out there at some point. Wasn't Cotillion, but it was
high school pep rally or something?
No, it was a production called Anything Goes.
Yeah.
That's right. I did.
So you guys did a
Charleston
Broadway play at school? Is that what it was?
It was. That's exactly right.
Yeah. But I want to see Matt Jones doing it. Well, he's athletic. I know he can do it.
If you got moves down the football field, man, you got dance moves at the same time. Won't you Charleston with me, Matt Jones?
Foxtrot.
Maybe the next time we're together. Maybe next Wednesday, a week from today, we're at Blue Ember Smokehouse in Little Rock. We'll be eating barbecue. We'll be talking sports, and we'll be teaching each other dance moves. I cannot wait.
Jitterbug.
Yeah. 877-377-6963. We invite you to come on the show and dance with us today.
That would be wow.
Saturday, Arkansas plays Auburn at Bud Walton Arena. If you can't make it to the game, you want to be over at Joe's Grill and Cantina and make sure you're wearing your Razorback gear during the game. If you do that, half-price apps and cheap taps all throughout the basketball game. They do that all season long. Drink specials will keep the party going, whether you're gearing up for tip-off or just celebrating the win at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Cold drinks and Razorback pride at 3400 South 74th across from Harps in Fort Smith, where the tap flows and fans roar. Stay with us. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of halftime in a moment.
Black running. Black, the scene's spotted. Some black magic. Timeout Milwaukee.
This is halftime.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. Got a lot going on during the week. I really don't want to leave the office, but my stomach's still growling. Thankfully, my buddy Mitchell introduced me to DK Fit Meals. David and his team put together incredible meal preps for me each and every week. Mitchell, I'm sure glad you recommended DK Fit Meals.
And with Arkansas basketball season underway, finding time to cook every night just isn't that easy. So with DK Fit Meals, I've got meals that are ready to go in just a matter of minutes. Find your flavor at DKFitmeals.com. That's DKFitmeals.com. So easy, even Ty can do it. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on February 12th through the 16th at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, February 12th through the 16th. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out. Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
All right, you're all set with the coat and scarf. Bundling up?
Yeah, it's freezing out there.
Want to bundle up some wins?
Wins?
It's the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's Powerball with Power Play, Lotto, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket, all for just $5.
Wait. 3 chances for 3 jackpots for $5? Bundle me up.
Ask for the $5 bundle today. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
Kick it. We like the boys with the bulletproof vests. We like the girls with cellophane chests. We like the boys with the bulletproof vests. We like the girls with the cellophane chests.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, you can always count on Beck to have some lyrics that'll make you scratch your head there, Matt Jones. Cellophane chests, which to me sounds like that
plays.
That's something you can see through. I don't think I've ever been able to see through somebody's body before. But then again, it's art. You know, I'm not making fun of Beck's art, but sometimes, scratch your head, your cellophane head.
The bulletproof vest makes me think of the Back to the Future. You know, when the three guys come into the diner and one of them has the talking vest on. I think that's where he was going with it.
Maybe that is a cellophane vest. I don't know. See from the press conference today, from Dave's press conference, that left field is a coin flip, 50-50 between incoming transfer Damian Ruiz, who was the Southland Conference Hitter of the Year last season, and freshman Christian Turner. Now, Ruiz bats right-handed. Turner's a lefty, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
So you could end up, depending on what side of the pitcher's mound the starter for the opponent is, may detail who's going to get the start here. But this is
action.
Well, it's a little surprise to me because when you bring a player in who was hitting, I think Ruiz hit close to 380 in the Southland Conference. He just wasn't hitting in the fall and apparently hasn't hit enough yet to win left field over a freshman too, and that also tells me Turner is turning some heads with that speed, and he must be a good outfielder as well. So, Ruiz is brought here to be a guy. I think right now I've seen him batting ninth in the lineup as that secondary leadoff man that Dave likes to talk about. But if he's not hitting, he ain't going to get in the lineup. So right there, you got a little question mark in left field. Not a question mark as to if you find any success there, but who's going to be the left fielder? And whoever hits more is going to get that opportunity.
Yeah, and you're talking about speed. Ruiz according to Hunter Bell, has been timed over 21 miles per hour. So that is raw speed too. So that doesn't give Turner the edge. But like you say, one's right-handed bat and one's left-handed. By the way, Ruiz is supposed to be a great fly fisherman, so hopefully I get to spend some time with him on an off day.
He hit 388 at Lamar last year with 23 more walks than strikeouts, hit for a little power, and I know that he's put on some strength, some muscle in Hunter Bell's strength and conditioning program. So, that's a guy. It's a guy I think you were hoping would come in here, hitting the 300s and maybe get you double-digit home runs and steal you some bases. Right now, we don't even know if he's going to be in the lineup on a game-by-game basis. We do know hour number 3 of halftime is on the way, and you can join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. There's much more to get to, and we'll do that after this.
With 10 extravagant indulgences for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu makes you feel Lutz. As their official Lutziers, I help when it makes you feel too Lutz. Like when you eat the delectable new mini taco salad, you don't need a mini taco salad fork. The fork that comes with the bag is fine. Just like the beefy potato loaded griller isn't gourmet, it's grilled. Just as good though. Try Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu for $3 or less today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Tax extra.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $30 on select DeWalt 20-volt max tools or $20 on select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
All right, you're all set with a coat and scarf. Bundling up?
Yeah, it's freezing out there.
Want to bundle up some wins?
Wins?
It's the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's Powerball with Power Play, Lotto, and a free natural state jackpot ticket, all for just $5.
Oh, wait. 3 chances for 3 jackpots for $5? Bundle me up.
Ask for the $5 bundle today. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a much cooler day, a high into the upper 50s to low 60s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight, and overnight low mid to upper 30s. Thursday, partial sunshine, a high near 60. Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, slight chance of showers, upper 50s to near 60. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
What name of one Razorback? It's vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com at 1:01 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, the unit, Kristen Johnston, Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us as well. And we're wide open here in hour number 3. So join us, 877-377-6963. Been touching a lot on Arkansas basketball, a little bit on Arkansas baseball. And, guys, we talked quite a bit yesterday about the Charles Bediako situation. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to react to Nate Oates speaking yesterday in response to Bediako essentially being told what we all expected, that he was not going to be eligible and he is no longer a college basketball player. This is a 2-minute clip. Get a listen to it, and then let's react to it.
100%. Like, there was an opportunity to help one of our former players out. He was within his 5-year window. He's trying to get his degree. And here's the thing, too. My job as a head coach is to do the right thing by our guys, and Charles is one of our guys, and that was the right thing to do by one of our guys. Like I've said before, this is not some mercenary deal. A 23-year-old coming in for a semester from that nobody knows, renting them for a semester or something. So, he was deemed legally eligible to play. We're going to absolutely support him. And, one of the ironic statements in the affidavit that Sankey put was, how much of a disadvantage it is to go be a pro and not have to focus on your college, which it's not the case. It would be nice if everybody that was commenting, writing, talking about this actually educated themselves on the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is Charles left here with his body looking pretty good at 235. He went to the G League. You don't get the same treatment as you do. There's a reason all of the G League players are trying to come. I shouldn't say all. There's a reason there's a lot of G League players trying to come back to college. The money's a lot better. The development's a lot better. You get way better. You get a full-time dietitian, full-time strength coach. You're not traveling on commercial flights, spending all your time in airports, not being able to develop. Charles actually has lost weight since he went to the G League. His development wasn't what you would think being a pro. No, you're more of a professional, able to focus on getting your body right in college. So, he's here. He's in school. We're going to help him try to gain weight back that he's lost since he was in the G League. We're going to continue to help his basketball development and continue to help his development as a student.
Okay, this is a bunch of bull crap. Notice he says absolutely nothing about, I needed a power forward. We weren't good enough.
I've never heard a deeper pile of crap.
Sound like a politician.
So whose fault is it that he lost weight? Whose fault is it that he wasn't smart enough to get proper nutrition? Whose fault is it that he left without a degree?
The thing that he's not letting.
This is just crap.
The thing that you're pointing out here, and that Nate Oates apparently, I guess, is just not into the idea of decisions have consequences, and I think in some of our minds we began to think that the decisions that athletes had made to leave their college eligibility behind, which they full well knew they were doing when they made that decision to sign the NBA contract, that decision is not supposed to ever have consequences in terms of, well, if he lost weight, is that on every university for a team? The guy goes to play in the NBA or goes to play in the G League and doesn't quite get there, that it's on them to bring him back and make sure he gains his weight again? Now, I got the Arkansas baseball team that routinely has players come back and finish their degrees. But you know what they do when they're doing that? They're a graduate assistant instead of being a player who's already given up his eligibility and did it knowingly at the same time.
How about Tyler Eulis?
There you go. There's a prime example for it.
That's what he's doing. He's learning. He's going to be a coach.
He gives you 15 different reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with the fact of the matter that Charles Bediako signed contracts with, 3 different NBA teams and played in the G League under those contracts. A much different situation than anybody else that Nate Oates is talking about.
There is no rule on number of analysts, graduate assistants that you can have. Alabama, if they want to help him, they've got a way to do it. And he can go in there, their nutrition program if he wants to.
Hey, it would be a great way to use as an example for the rest of your players.
Bingo.
Be like, hey, this guy thought. Let Charles talk to you guys about his decision making and who it was that he might have trusted in terms of an agent that might have given him bad information or lied to him about where he would have fit into the NBA.
How about Lee Mayberry? Do you know what he did? He came back and was a film junkie, did work for the coaches, got his degree. Now he's a head coach at Cassia Hall, trying to win a state championship. I mean, there's a guy like that was a good player for your program. You're going to take care of him. Dean Tolson came back, got his degree. They called it the Frank Broyles program. I guarantee you they've got that at Alabama. And it's whatever. I mean, but they knew they were breaking the rules, and they went full steam ahead. They get what they deserve. Whatever happens, they deserve it.
The one arrow that's in his quiver that he keeps hitting on is that NCAA looks at contracts with the NBA specifically and not about anybody overseas. Well, their next game is against Ole Miss. Elias Camerdine played. Well, listen to Nate Oates talk about Elias Camerdine.
Here last year, we've got to make sure we're ready for them. They've got a multitude of players that are playing. The kid Camerdine, played with JDA Dijon in France. It's the first tier France division. He's a pro that played a lot of years of professional basketball before he came over here. So he's good. He's been starting at the point for him. We've got to make sure we're ready. It's a good.
So we're supposed to treat European basketball, even at the top level, as the same as signing a contract with an NBA team. And I don't know.
Well, that kid didn't go to Ole Miss, then go play pro ball in France, then try to come back to Ole Miss. That's the whole thing.
And he comes in and he has 1 year of eligibility because of his age. 1 year. Yeah, and your point is exactly the point to be made in this case. There wasn't a decision by this kid to first start in college, give up that eligibility, and then come back. So I know a lot of these cases are different. James Najee's situation is different than Amari Bailey, and it's different than Charles Bediako.
Here's the thing. You don't change the rules in midstream. If this isn't right, and Alabama and the rest of the schools, if they don't like the rule, then there's avenues to change the rule. I mean, you can go through systems and get it changed. But this is the rule, and this is the rule until this year is over. And everybody else knew that's what the rule was. They tried to change it in midstream, and it was like, no, we're going to wait until we're halfway through the semester to try to play him, because then we can get an injunction, and we'll at least get a few games out of him. So I'm not very sympathetic. I'm sorry.
I've also seen a couple of different opinions on whether or not the NCAA selection committee will take these 5 games into account. Here's John Rothstein's opinion.
Well, I talked to an NCAA official last night who told me that the NCAA tournament selection committee is going to evaluate Alabama for the NCAA tournament based on the roster that is going to be available for the NCAA tournament. So the NCAA tournament selection committee is going to take into account that there was a sample size of the season that Charles Bediako played for Alabama and even obviously contributed to some big wins. But it's going to be taken into account that he is not going to be available for March Madness.
Okay, so with that said, they did get some pretty big wins without him. A win over Illinois. They beat St. John's, beat Kentucky to open up SEC play without Charles Bediako. But these last 5 games, it certainly seems like, I don't know if they're going to count. They're not going to be vacating any of these wins. But in the committee's mind, I think they're expected to discount the 3 wins that they had with Charles Bediako. Those are over Mizzou, Texas A&M, and Auburn. But it doesn't take away a lot of other quality wins. Alabama is going to make the NCAA tournament unless they have some sort of an amazing tailspin right now. And even without Bediako, they're probably too good to have some sort of tailspin. I don't know if these 5 games will count in the committee's eye.
It will affect their seeding. There's not any doubt about it. It's no different than when a player gets hurt. And you factor that in. They're not the same team. They're not the same team they were last week today. And we'll see how they play going forward. You know, they've got a chance to play their way back into good grace, so to speak. And they've got a conference tournament that they could do well in. I would guess that they have an attitude like it's us against the world. And sometimes that can be a very, strong ally. It also can be where, okay, it is us against the world, and we're flopping miserably because they've done this to us, and you lose some of your. But Arkansas they're gonna get the full brunt of it next week when they go to Tuscaloosa.
Can't wait to see how that game goes. That's for sure. Hey, Crabtree RV Center in Alma, tell them about you every single day. They've been serving the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas 3/4 of a century and counting. At Crabtree RV, every buyer and their family get the best RV purchasing experience. The folks are perfect helping you choose the right RV. Personalized financing at Crabtree and the top-of-the-line parts and service department where you made your purchase. And one of the largest selections available in Arkansas at Crabtree RV. It's where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. Also at crabtreerv.com. Join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline whenever you want. 877-377-6963. Halftime is back after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years, and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You know that stretch where football's winding down, fight nights keep rolling, and you still want action every night? That's February, and that's where MyBookie really shines. I'll bet the games, sure, but once they're over, I slide right over to the casino and keep it moving. Slots, live dealers, blackjack, roulette, same account, all in one. There's always something going on, too. Cash drops, slot tournaments, live dealer jackpots. You log in and there's action waiting. That's why I keep telling people MyBookie isn't just for game day. It's built for late nights and that post-Super Bowl hangover. Head on over to mybookie.ag now and use promo code HOGS.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry, too, here on Halftime as we take you up until 2 o'clock before Ruskin and Zach take over. Unit, name the Beatles for me, since you just heard them.
Ringo Starr, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison.
No, that doesn't count. Clay's whispering it.
Bill King.
He couldn't hear me. He couldn't hear me.
That's right. And Grant Hall. He's the 5th
Grant
Beatle.
Hall.
Oh man, you're
did he play the kazoo? I think he did.
Grant,
the auto harp.
I wouldn't even be able to play the kazoo.
Yeah,
Who sang that song? Who sings Blackbird?
That was Paul.
Come on, we're asking the unit. You know that
sorry.
answer, Matt.
I'm sorry.
You guys are killing me, both of you. Clay and Matt, you're giving.
We like him. We're
you
trying
guys
to
are giving
help.
the unit the answers to the test. What's
I know,
wrong
but
here?
we're worried that there's some punishment that he doesn't deserve.
I think he realizes that. First of all, you guys realize that there's no way that he's going to get the answers without help. So,
Well,
appreciate that.
Squirrel finds a nut every now and then, and I've found one.
Yeah, go ahead and find a nut. Never mind. I want to play this for you about Kuhio Aloy working in the outfield with Dominic Fletcher.
Yeah, Fletcher. He'll be a great coach one day. He's ate up with defense, and talking about him back in the past. I mean, he's probably one of the, as far as just running a 60-yard dash. He's not the fastest center fielder I've ever had, but he may be the best center fielder I've ever had. And it's all about technique, anticipation, and just reading the ball off the bat. And he's done this 2 and 3 years in a row. He's worked with our guys a little bit, and we ask him to. I've always said this around here. There's no ego around here. We just want to get better and we want to improve things. And he's getting ready to head out to spring training, but he did that for us a couple days in a row. Just took, Cahill asked him, and it was great.
That's the right guy to learn how to play the outfield from. Fletcher was a freshman center fielder at Arkansas.
Ooh. I mean, he always got a great jump. He played shallow too, didn't he? If I remember that right.
He'd play shallow. He got a great jump, and he could close on the ball. He might not have had the greatest speed, but he never took the wrong route to the ball, and also had a good throwing arm. But that's
he could
not the thing
backtrack.
Well, it's not
on the wall.
Throwing is not what Kuhio's got to do. The thing that Fletcher was so good at, and this is why he's the perfect outfielder to work with Aloy on this, it was all about footwork. It was all about the first step. He knew off the bat where the ball is going to end up. That's what makes a center fielder truly great. It's not necessarily the speed. It's not necessarily the ability to, leap and make a great catch and rob a home run or anything like that. It's the first step and the knowledge of where the ball is going to go. That's why Cal Ripken won so many Golden Gloves because he just was always in the right position at the right time and knew how the ball was going to come off the bat. The thing is, it's like Fletcher always played the outfield, so he had that repetition. This is Kuhio Aloy's first year playing the outfield. I mean, he was limited to designated hitter last year. He was a pitcher at BYU his first season. So it's completely different. I mean, Fletcher just had this innate knowledge of how to play the positions. Kuhio does not. But Fletcher'd be the right person. Like if he can teach Kuhio how to play right field and help turn him into, look, he doesn't have to be a Gold Glover. He doesn't have to be some all-star in the field in right field. What he has to be is serviceable. What he has to be is the ability to catch what he can get to and improve what he can get to as the season goes on. Because he can't just be a designated hitter. And right now I think Souza is the designated hitter, and you have to have both their bats in the lineup. So this is about as important
Who's the better
of a
athlete?
piece for this team that there is right now.
That my question would be, so we're not necessarily worried about the arm. There's arm strength with both of them, but who's the better athlete, Souza or Aloy?
Oh, Souza.
Why isn't Souza playing right field?
Because he's an infielder.
Because he's an in. Well,
he's not playing infield either. I didn't think.
Well, he
will.
Because of the arm. It's because of the shoulder injury.
But to your point though, I want a guy that's not going to make mistakes too. That's so big. Like get to the ball and catch it. We're not asking you to throw lasers and tag people out, but can you read the ball off the bat and go get the ball? That to me would be key one in playing right field. And if Aloy can't do that, he doesn't need to be out there.
Well, that all is true, and there'll be a point of no return. I mean, they'll.
I can't have you dropping punts. You know, the first rule in catching punts and being a punt returner is you have to catch the ball. You drop two, you never get to go back there again.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you'll see that they get to a certain point and they'll make a decision that, that he's hurting them or he's helping them in right field. And if there's somebody else, and they got a guy that can play right field, Zach Stewart hit a lot of home runs at Missouri State, and he's perfectly able to play right field. And I think he's more than a serviceable right fielder from what I've been able to see in watching scrimmages and practices, that he knows what he's doing out there. But he doesn't have the bat that Kuhio does. And and he's left and left-handed hitter and got that good bat speed. So they've got some options. They're not going to go down to the very end with him if it doesn't work out. But and I mean, I think if you put Souza out there, he'd have to learn how to play there too. So it's
that's the thing. It's like eventually, because Davis talked about the idea that Souza can play anywhere because of his athleticism, but it would also take time for him to learn the outfield, and that would be on the fly too, And the thing I worry about with Kuhio Aloy, I saw this graphic today that compared, and I don't remember the exact season that these two major league players were being compared, but if you remember a catcher named Austin Hedges, who literally could not hit, but he was a good catcher, and Adam Dunn. You remember Adam Dunn, Mr. Swing and Miss for the Cincinnati Reds, but would hit you 40-some home runs and strike out 1,000 times, but he was a truly awful right fielder who could barely move. The two guys are side by side, and you see all the offensive stats for Adam Dunn for that season, and you see that Austin Hedges couldn't hit his way out of a paper bag. But they had the exact same wins above replacement, and it was because, look, don't poo-poo the WAR. This thing means something. Adam Dunn was such a bad right fielder that it almost took away the importance of his offensive production. You think you can just stick some guy in right field and have him just stand there and catch what comes to him? You can't have that in right field. That's what Adam Dunn was. That's what Kuhio Aloy cannot be. You have to do both at the same time. You cannot just be a hitter. There's only one player in the lineup that can do that. That's it. Otherwise, if you can't play in the field, you become a net negative. And that's shocking to think that Adam Dunn, in a year where he only hit in the 230s, but is slugging in the 400s, hits you 30-some home runs, knocks in 80 to 90 runs. He was a net negative that year because he was truly awful in right field. You can't have that for Kuhio Aloy this season. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's what you can't have.
Yeah, I don't think Dave will let it get to that point. I mean, well, he hasn't ever, so we'll hide and watch. But I can remember some coaches in the SEC that they didn't say we don't care about defense, but their actions led you to believe they didn't care about defense, because they put the biggest bash guys in the outfield and at third base and first base. I mean, they were really physical. I think LSU did that a few times, that they were so enamored with offense that they didn't even care what they looked like on defense. And I felt like maybe Tony Vitello did that a little bit.
Yeah, I think he did.
Like, we're going to hit home runs, and we're going to pitch, and we'll practice defense, but that's not what's going to get you on the field. And Dave will give in favor of defense sometimes.
Yeah, and that to me also is where Christian Turner can come in. It's like that's a guy with a lot of speed. If he can find his way on the bases, he can do something about it. And that's the most important aspect of Carson Brumbaugh this year, is be a steady shortstop first and foremost, and then you worry about the hitting from there. With Eloy, he's got to be a steady hitter, and I think he will be. There'll be some peaks and valleys. I do think he's that style of hitter, but he can't be. It's not like he can't be a net negative right fielder. I just don't think he's going to be a great right fielder. He just has to be okay.
Serviceable.
Yes, serviceable. Catch what comes to you. He's got the arm. I don't think there's any two ways about that.
Oh,
he
has a
arm
rocket
strength, and he's got the arm accuracy. It's just catching the ball in right field is a little more difficult than it looks like when we're sitting in the stands. 877-377-6963 if you want to hit on anything about that. Oh, what can we tell you about? We can tell you about BetSaracen.com. If you go over to BetSaracen.com on any web browser, and can also download from your iPhone from the App Store. Android users can get over to Google Play. BetSaracen has all the great sporting events that you're looking to put a little money on. Arkansas baseball coming up, softball, also, of course, the Olympics. They got everything covered in the Olympics. You can always go on a web browser and type it in at BetSaracen.com, but make sure that you are within the state of Arkansas to use BetSaracen. All right, we're back in a moment for the home stretch of halftime.
Never going to see that get called. You do that with your arm, it gets called. Isaiah Joe.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, a Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, a Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's a Cut Above, 719-5605.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Being a father doesn't come with a manual, but you don't have to figure it out alone. Invest Fatherhood is a program of Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center, and our Man Up classes bring dads together. This is a network of fathers building stronger families one step at a time, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you're ready to be the dad your kids need, man up, step in, and join the brotherhood. Invest Fatherhood, a Heart to Heart program. Strong fathers change everything. Call Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center at 479-452-2260 to sign up today.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Arkansas and Southwest Missouri is offering 50% off installation or no interest if paid in full until 2027. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Dr. Walter Duda is a nationally known doctor of music and has taught many teachers and boys and girls how to play the autoharp. Dr. Walter Duda. Dr. Walter Duda is a nationally known doctor of music and has taught many teachers and boys and girls how to play the autoharp.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us as well as we take into the home stretch today. And I want to celebrate Norm DeBryan, who gets inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame tomorrow. Also you got some great players that are being inducted, great coaches also that are being inducted. Listen to some of the guys on this class. Chris Benson, I remember walking into the office of the Pirates general manager when they signed Chris Benson to his contract. Looked at him, too, and it was like, this guy's about as thin as I am. Kip Bachnight, a former Golden Spikes winner at South Carolina. Hubie Brooks, longtime major leaguer. Mark McGwire is going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame for his time at USC. Phil Nevin, David Price, Steven Strasburg, and then coaches Ray Tanner, back-to-back national titles, although things at South Carolina athletics right now are a little bit iffy. Clint Evans used to coach Cal for a long time. Les Murakami, longtime Hawaii coach. Ray Fisher, who coached Michigan. And Jerry Weinstein is a famous catching instructor that also coached Sacramento City College. Scott Boras is also going in as a builder of the game.
Is Steven Strasburg in this class?
Yeah, Strasburg. That's right. He's going in too. But
Norm's he's the only left-handed catcher going in.
Only left-handed catcher that I've heard of one other. I think Dale Long might have done some left-handed catching. Benny DiStefano did a little left-handed catching. Yep. That's all I know of. And then Norm DeBryan. That's great. Many. I love Matt Jones's series of articles detailing Norm's career that you can find at Whole Hog Sports. And
3 parts.
I think he's got a 4th part coming out tomorrow.
Oh, really? I thought it was done.
And I was reading today's, and it's about the 80s. Well, yesterday's was about the 80s. And, it's talking about Tom Pagnazzi and, his choice, where he's going to go learn to catch, because he was a third baseman in junior college. And when he goes to Arkansas and he tells his dad, he's like, I might have chose the wrong place. I'm learning from a left-handed catcher. It's like, we don't have any of those.
Got to stand in front of a mirror to get this thing reversed. So I've got it all figured out.
The thing, though, it's like what this donation from the Walker Foundation is such an amazing honor in Norm's name. And I've said this for a long time. I know it takes money, but there's a college baseball Hall of Fame with no physical location. Look, college football's got its location in Atlanta. College basketball's got its location in Kansas City. And finally, college baseball is going to have its own physical Hall of Fame in Overland Park, Kansas, at the Museum of Prairie Fire, where this is going to be part of the Museum of Prairie Fire. But the $1.5 million donation that goes to the College Baseball Hall of Fame in Norm DeBriyn's name is going to be the main reason why there is an awards gallery and a Coaching Legends Corner, both with Norm's name on it. And it's one honor on top of another honor, guys. I can't think anybody better to represent the sport, truthfully. I mean, there's plenty of other great coaches that are also going in with Norm, but the actual gallery that celebrates these coaches is going to be named for Norm DeBryn.
Norm DeBryn is forever grateful that he didn't cut Johnny Mike Walker. Back in, was it 76, that Johnny Mike came out for baseball, was a nondescript pitcher, didn't have anything that, would say that he's going to be, a top-end pitcher for the Razorbacks, but he didn't get cut. And Norm kept him around. This is about the 4th or 5th time Johnny Mike's signed a check that's considerably more than any of us can sign a check for.
I think the $5 million. I think the new video board that's going up in the left field corner is just from Johnny Mike's checkbook.
Yep. Well, he's. I've sit by him a lot of games because the Hogs Illustrated suite and the Walker Family Foundation suite are side by side, and I would sit there next to Johnny Mike. Very, very quiet, very humble person. But if there was ever a doubt, it should be put to rest. He is driving the bus for the Norm DeBryn fan club.
Does he still call you Milwaukee, Matt?
Yeah, Milwaukee's Brewers. First time I saw Norm DeBryn, I feel like, I tell this story all the time, but I was a high school senior, going up there in the summer with Clark Moore, and Clark Moore had a Clemson hat and that he would wear, and I had this. I just thought the Milwaukee's blue, white, and yellow, the myth that said MB. I just thought it was the coolest baseball. I was like, that's the coolest one, and so I saw him walking up there at the Broyle Center, walking outside, and I was always, people would say I was like, I don't know that, you don't know anybody, but people would call you by name. You're like, oh, who's it? And he just called me Milwaukee Brewers from that day on. I saw Norm DeBryn. I don't know. I'd go up there and hang out with Dean Weber a little bit, so I'd run into him. Probably every other time I'd see Dean, I'd see him, and we'd still laugh about it. And I love some Norm DeBryn.
I've never come across Norm DeBryn without a smile on his face. I've never been around Norm that he doesn't have something to laugh about. And then there's that, here we go with cognitive dissonance again, Clay. And then there's all the stories I hear about Norm from Bubba, in which he viewed Norm as a second father. And I think the only reason that Bubba decided to agree to do the baseball broadcast is because he could not say no to Norm DeBryn. But he literally had the fear of God instilled to him of Norm DeBryn.
Troy Aikman says the same thing, that he just could not say no when Norm called and said, would you be the color commentator on the TV broadcast? Basically handpicked by Norm, one of his great players. He said, I didn't know how I was going to, work it out because he's got a real job. And I don't know how I'm going to work that out. But I told him I didn't know how to work it. And he, so I think Troy thought he told him no. Like I've got the job and I'm going to be traveling, and just kind of let it at that. Norm called back a second time and is like, I think we've already had this conversation. Norm is like, no, we haven't. He had to.
You start in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Matt, you ever had a coach that just put the fear of God into you?
Besides my father?
I was going to say besides Coach Jones.
I've had coaches, I've told you about this, Steve Walters, who was my receiver coach at Jacksonville, that you didn't want to let down. I've had that. You don't want to let these coaches
it's like
down.
Dad saying, I'm disappointed in you, son.
David Lee and Roy Whitkey, both those coaches, man. Like they would ask you a question. We've talked about this. You know what the answer you can never say is, I don't know. Like you can't, somebody asks you a question, you can't say, I don't know. Like you always got, and then the thing they want you to learn, they want you to understand. Good players want to be coached. And no, I've definitely had a lot of coaches that, I say a lot of coaches, you've had a handful of coaches that are special, that you're like, man, Houston Nutt was that way. I think he was that way to a lot of players, man. You didn't want to let Houston down.
And I don't think Norm's players wanted to let him down either, but they were afraid of him. They literally were afraid of him. And
it is healthy
like
because
a different person than the guy I know.
But he's on your side. So it's a weird dynamic of being afraid or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word, because you know that whatever it is, that he's got your back and that he's on your side.
So he was a taskmaster. I mean, he was fierce on the field. I mean, he very loud, very demonstrative. I mean, he's tough on players. Now he didn't coach pitchers, and he didn't coach hitters. He had a pitching coach and a hitting coach, but he coached everything else. I mean, he coached the defense. He did the recruiting. I mean, he was hands-on in every other way. And I heard him last week talk at the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club luncheon. They had a panel of guys, and Tom Pagnozzi said that what he was really good at is he could be really firm, and then maybe after practice or later, maybe they've gone to dinner after a game that maybe didn't go so well for a player, and he'd been hard on that player. But that he would come back, put his arm around him, and is like, ask him a question. He's like, how's your mom? Speak specifically, or how's your girlfriend, or how was that dinner you just had, and what have you got tomorrow? What's on your plate tomorrow? And that he basically could break you down, but he could kind of put you back together. And Pagnozzi talked about that, and Norm is like, I'm going to tell you how I got that. And he goes, I was, always been, a taskmaster. I don't know if that's the word that he used, but, that's the explanation I got out of it. And he says, I came to Arkansas, and I knew I was going to be a coach, coaching the baseball team. I'm trying to kind of formulate how you do this, how you coach, how do you push buttons. He's learning. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you wanted to learn at Arkansas about how to coach, you went out and watched Frank Broyles' coach's coach. And he said, I watched Wilson Matthews, and he was as mean and salty.
I've heard you describe what Wilson Matthews was like.
Oh, yeah. And he said, I watched him, how hard he was. And then I saw how much the players loved him. And you can coach him hard. And so he asked Wilson, how do you do this? And he says, after we're done and we're all showered and it's time to go home, or maybe we're going to go eat and we're going to come back, and have meetings, I went to the dining hall and found that player that I had chewed out. And he said, I sat with him and I made sure to hug him and to tell him I loved him. I want him to get better. These are the things you need to work on, but I love you, and hey, this is all forgotten. We're moving forward.
There's a thing that Pops told me a long time ago in sports. It's like you got to know when to put your arm around him, and you got to know when to kick him in the butt. But he also said this, Clay, and this is to your point. when I stop talking to you, that's when you should worry. Whenever the coach doesn't talk to you or doesn't come find you or is not saying, that's when you should get a little nervous. But as long as you're still loving on them, man, players eat that up.
You want the coach to know your name, that's for sure.
So you walk through the concourse at Baum Walker Stadium, and you see Norm come in, and you see people gravitate to him, former players. And some of them I didn't even know were former players. And I figured out, well, that's a former player. And you see them run to him. And it was the same thing. I'd be going up the steps at the Broyle Center to deliver magazines. And Coach Matthews is kind of, I don't know, he was emeritus. He didn't really have that much of a job, but he's still around some. And had an office on the second floor. And the top floor, I should say. And you'd see former players, and I recognized the football players. I knew them. Some of them were legends. They walk in the building, and you think, well, they're going to see Coach Broyles. Nope. They're going to see Coach Matthews. They loved Coach Matthews. And that's the same thing you see, with, former players. They roll in and they go to the foundation to see Norm. That's what makes him such a good fundraiser.
Yeah. It's got to have something too about, not feeling the pressure of the competition. And you probably miss some of that too, but the idea of being a taskmaster, and so at the end of the day, you're trying to win games and keep your job and all of that. So I really do feel like Dave had to have taken cues from Norm as he played for them, as he coached for Norm. Dave Van Horn is not a taskmaster or anything like that. He's not some martinet or humorless or anything. But I've seen
he's got his way.
Oh, he'll get after him.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll get after him during batting practice. He'll get after him in the dugout after games and everything. But I don't think there's anybody in that team that doesn't think that he at least is interested in them as a person too. It's just you do have to be a ball player first and take care of that job. And I think you earn the respect from your coach from that. Then I think they'll go to the personal life a little bit after that. And the other thing you got to be is genuine. That's the thing that Dave is. That's the thing that Norm is. And I've been around baseball coaches, not at Arkansas, but in other places where, well, have you ever seen a manager or a head coach go off on a team? If you've been in that locker room and all of a sudden you notice that some of the guys are holding back laughter because they just don't believe that this guy actually is as angry as he seems to be. I watched the manager tear up a $20 bill in front of the Travelers once, and he was so angry that they had lost 7 games in a row. Says, "This is what your career is worth." Tears up the $20 bill right in front of him. These guys could barely hold the laughter in. This was a guy that when he would argue with umpires, he literally looked like a chicken with its head cut off, and everybody in the dugout was laughing watching him do that. Nobody thought he was genuine about that, right? I mean, it's okay to be angry, but I think you want to feel like the anger isn't manufactured.
I've heard former players talk about, this is back when they were playing at the old George Cole Field next to the Hyper building. And a lot of the baseball players, they parked over by the Hyper building, and they came through a door in center field. There's a gate out there. They would come through that area. Came from Pomfret Hall, that's where a lot of them were living, the dorm. And the best, that's the way you came in. And they'd already started practice, and a player, and I'm not going to mention his name. He didn't last very long, but he was a star out of high school, through 95 when nobody was throwing 95, those old guns. And he had not been going to class. And he came in late, and it wasn't because he was coming from class. He just came in late. And Norm started after him, chasing him with the fungo bat. Did not catch him, and somebody grabbed him, but it's like he had his way of getting his point across, and there wasn't anybody laughing. They were hoping he didn't catch him.
God almighty. Yeah, you'll make a point if you're chasing somebody with a fungo bat. Yeah, we'll be back when we make up our last point of the day here on Halftime.
Obviously super disappointed in the whole thing, to be honest with you. I didn't think it ever should have got to court.
This is Halftime.
Rib. I want the rib.
People can get pretty particular about their ribs, and at Neumeyer's Rib Room, they can too. Do you want to join an awesome team and serve mouth-watering championship-level ribs where the best brews and tunes flow? Come to work at Neumeyer's Rib Room in historic downtown Fort Smith at 5th and Garrison. They're hiring new staff. Apply today and be a part of Fort Smith's most vibrant dining experience.
Now I'm here to eat ribs. Lots of ribs.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris George from Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville. You need a jeweler you can trust to do all the things that you need, like repairs or custom work or one-of-a-kind treasures, spring gift occasions. We have affordable gifts for every need. Quality natural diamonds, beautiful lab-grown diamonds, silver and natural stones, chains, necklaces, rings, whatever you need. Come see us at Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville.
DraftKings Sportsbook is making every snap, every drive, every moment of Super Bowl 60 count with DraftKings Live Millions. Open the app, opt in, and get your promo token. Place a live bet of $1 or more on the Super Bowl, and you're in. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. That's code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. Bet live for your share of $5 million in prizes with code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Minimum odds minus 500. Prizes either bonus bets or single-use 20% profit boost. Max bet $20 that expire in 30 days. See official rules at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos for entry period and free method of entry. Sponsored by Crown Gaming, Inc.
The best mornings
in the morning light.
Start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
Hang on a second. Yeah, hang on to this, buddy.
Please, baby, come back home. It's so cold, dark here all alone. You come back, I promise I'll be good. You come home, baby, I got you.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, wrapping up halftime. Very quick segment. Clay, great stuff today. Always appreciate you. Think I might see you at Baum next week?
Well, you're going to see me at Arlington.
Oh, that's right. He's in Arlington. That's right.
I'm leaving. I'm driving to Fayetteville tomorrow, and Sarah, we're going to spend a night with Sarah. Jean Ann's going to stay at Sarah's house and keep the two dogs, and Sarah and I will drive down. We're staying in the Las Colinas area. We love that area. And then we'll be at all those games. open seating. We'll just buy general admission seating and move around. Yeah, the way it works is I'll sit in a seat until somebody recognizes my voice, and then I have to move.
I'll do the same thing, though I don't think anybody's going to be able to get into where I'm sitting for most of the games.
I'll be
unless they've got
sending
a
you
credential.
text. Yeah, I'll be sending you text.
That's right, you will. I think Matt will at the same time. What do you got on TV later on, Matt?
Liverpool and Sunderland.
Sounds
Let's
like a
get
big
it.
one. Sounds like a real big one. All right, well, we'll hit on that tomorrow. Tomorrow on a Thursday, Bubba Carpenter's back for the remainder of the baseball season. Also, Arkansas hitting coach Nate Thompson and Dudley Dawson. I think Brett Dolan.
That's going to be a good show.
Brett's in Puerto Vallarta, so I don't think we're getting Brett.
Puerto Vallarta.
How about that?
Is he vacationing?
Got a college softball tournament.
No
That's
way.
That's basically
No
what an example of a vacation for a sports
So
broadcaster.
then he'll have one of those drinks with the little umbrella in it, right?
Yeah, maybe on the air too. Who knows? It's fun stuff. Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach, and you got
Very
the
carry
Eastside
stuff.
Liquor Halftime Podcast if you missed anything on the show today. For Matt, the unit, and Clay, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Now have a Wednesday.
Start the year strong with New Holland.